So I'm a big sauce guy. I like different dipping sauces. I love making like the tonkatsu sauce in a tonkatsu ramen video. But if there's one sauce that I haven't really explored that much, it's hot sauce. So I thought, what better to do than start the quest for the best green hot sauce. Yes, green, verde, vert. For some reason, I've always gravitated towards the flavor of green hot sauces and salsas. So one of my all-time favorite hot sauces is this Cholula green pepper hot sauce. And it's made with jalapenos and poblanos, and I will literally just throw it on anything. Eggs, tacos, pizzas, pastas, rice dishes, you name it. It goes pretty much good on anything. And if you take a quick look at the ingredients, we have jalapeno pepper, water, sugar, salt, poblano pepper, acetic acid, garlic powder, jalapeno powder, xanthan gum, poblano pepper flavor, sodium benzoate, and sodium metabisulfate. Both are preservatives. Now looking at these ingredients, I want to stay as close as possible as I can to these with some minor substitution. My list is going to be as follows. Number 1 is the habanero pepper instead of jalapeno, which is a floral fruity pepper and a lot hotter as they rank at 100,000 plus on the Scoville scale compared to 2,500 to 8,000 for a jalapeno. The reason why I'm making that substitution is pretty easy. You know those little beads of sweat that you get when you eat something spicy? I like that feeling. So that's why I'm going with the habaneros, get those extra spicy capsaicin in there, and it's gonna pack a nice punch for our green hot sauce. Poblano peppers are next, which is going to give us that great green color and an added flavor profile. So I'll be using whole garlic instead of garlic powder in addition to water, sugar, and salt. For the acetic acid, I'll just be using distilled white vinegar, and I will be using the xanthan gum, which is a thickener. More on that later. It's pretty interesting to see the difference in including xanthan gum and when you don't include it. So now that we have that final ingredient list, remember how I said this was going to be a quest for the best hot sauce? Well, each video in this mini series is going to be a different hot sauce preparation, but I'm actually going to keep the ingredients the exact same, and all of the hot sauces will be in the Louisiana style, which is categorized by the thin and vinegary taste. So you may ask what I'm actually going to be changing if all this stuff is going to stay the same, and I'm going to change how I prepare the peppers. First up is a fresh pepper preparation, which can be done in no time. Second up will be a fermented pepper preparation, which is typically done for things like Tabasco. Third is going to be a roasted pepper preparation, and finally, I will do a roasted, then fermented preparation to see what those two combined look like. So at the end of all these videos, I plan to do a blind taste test to see which one I like the best, and I'm also going to try to gather up some willing blind taste test participants. If any of you want to follow along this hot sauce quest with me, I'll have the recipes in the description of every single video, and we can follow along and see which ones we like best together. But first up is going to be a fresh pepper preparation that can be done on a weeknight in under an hour. To start off, we just need to cut up our poblanos, peppers, and garlic. So for the poblanos, I cut them into 8s, cut them into half, then cut them into 4s, and then cut them in half again. And you don't need to get rid of any of the seeds or the pith if you don't want to. We're going to be blending up and straining this, so it's not a big deal. For the habaneros, all I do is cut off the tops and then halve them. And then for our garlic, all I'm doing is just removing the root end. And then at this point, you're just going to be left with this beautifully colorful bowl of peppers and garlic. And you're going to take that over to the stove and throw it in a saucepan. Now to the saucepan, we're going to fill it with water. And you don't need to measure the water. What you want to do is fill the water up until it is completely covering the peppers and they just start to float. But don't go any more than that. Then we're going to add just a small sprinkle of salt here to help season those peppers as they're cooking. And then we're going to bring this whole mixture up to a boil. And then as soon as it starts boiling, you can just turn down the heat to low, and we're going to let this simmer for 10 minutes. So after simmering, you can take the pan off the heat, and I like to let it cool like 15 minutes before I throw this in the blender. Once cooled, you can pour the entire saucepan right into your high-powered blender, and we're going to blend this until it is completely smooth.
And because of all the air incorporated, it will kind of look like a weird green smoothie. But then once everything starts settling down, we get this nice, vibrant green color. Next, we want to strain out our hot sauce by just running it through a metal strainer, or you could use a chinois. And just pour all your hot sauce like you're a fancy barista or something, and then you can use like a spoon to kind of push it through if it's kind of building up a little bit. And then at the end of this process, you're going to be left with this kind of pepper puree mash. You can throw that away if you want, but I actually decided to dry mine, and I'll give you guys an update on that in the next hot sauce video to see how that turned out. Now that we have our strained hot sauce, put it back into your clean blender, and now we're gonna season this thing. So you wanna start with salt and vinegar because those are the two kind of notorious flavors that we really want to come through in this kind of Louisiana style hot sauce. And then I'm blending these two together first, and then I'm going to give it a taste. So after this first taste, I'm tasting, does it need any more salt? Does it need more vinegar? Or does it need more sugar to help balance that? In this case, I added just a little bit of sugar to help balance out and give it a little bit of extra sweetness and give it one more taste, and then deciding if that is good to go. Based on my reaction, it was good to go, and now it is time to talk about xanthan gum. So xanthan gum is a thickener, and it's very powerful stuff. On screen right now is 1 gram of xanthan gum with 100 grams of water, and it literally looks like snot. It is really good at thickening though, and I did a quick test with some hot sauce, and you can see the one on the left with xanthan gum is really kind of that hot sauce form factor that I look for. So the guideline that I use is 0.5 to 1 gram of xanthan gum for every 250 grams of sauce. So I actually weigh mine out. And what you want to do is add it while it's blending on a low setting. This is very important because if you just add it and it's not moving, you can get this kind of congealed mass of hot sauce right on top. So make sure you add it while it's already blending. And if you want to use more xanthan gum and get some snotty looking stuff, hey, more power to you. If that's the texture you like, do what you want. And now that we're done blending, we're done with our hot sauce. It's really as simple as that. So get out some woozy bottles, the classic hot sauce bottle, throw a funnel in, and let's fill these bad boys up and talk about the taste of this hot sauce.
So right out of the bottle, I'm really happy with both the texture and the taste of this. I like that I use those habaneros because it gives it that extra spice. And I think habaneros are one of the best peppers out there because they are spicy, but they also have really good flavor and kind of brightness to them. It's not just like a spice that's just gonna like destroy you or something. It's spicy, yeah, but it's really not bad. And for me, the habanero is about the right spice level. Mixed with those poblanos gives it a ton of good flavor. I feel like I maybe could have added a little bit more vinegar to get kind of some of that more vinegary kind of Louisiana style through. But all in all, that's a basic green hot sauce that I'm very happy with. You could make that on a weeknight and, you know, be good to go. Like that's pretty impressive. I'll also do a little test on a chip, and I'm probably gonna make a fried egg as well, just because I want to really use this stuff while it's. Yeah, I'm gonna be using this a lot, and I also realized I'm gonna have a lot of hot sauce at the end of this series. So I've got 2 bottles here, and then I haven't even filled up the rest. Like I have this much hot sauce left. What I'll probably end up doing with a lot of this extra is canning it. I have the fermented versions, they're already fermenting. So I've got those good, and they need about probably another day or 2 before I can make them into hot sauce. So we got that on the way, and yeah, I'm excited for the series, and I'm really excited to see the difference in the spiciness levels. What I'm assuming is the basic, you know, fresh one. This is probably gonna be the most spicy because the other versions I'm doing, we're kind of breaking down the peppers more. Like we're fermenting them, and then for the other one, we're roasting them, and then we're roasting and fermenting. So it's really going to be fun to contrast between this versus the fermented, the roasted, and the fermented roasted versions. Can't wait. So definitely stick around for the rest of this series. This is only episode 1. We've got 3 more to go with a blind taste test at the end. Hopefully you guys enjoy this exploration into hot sauces, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.